Hi, welcome to Slow and Steady Studio. I'm Pam and I have a BHAG. Do you know what a BHAG is? It stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. I'm going to tell you about mine and kind of how I arrived at that. And then through all of my videos, I want to take you on the journey toward pursuing that. Let me back up. I turned 50 back in October. It's now February when I'm filming this. As I was leading up to my birthday, my 50th, I'm like, well, this is a milestone birthday. I want to make sure that I don't just let it go by without really contemplating on it and commemorating it. Because I'm not like a big celebrate person, but I still want to be aware of milestones and commemorate them in some way. I haven't always been good at that. The first time I felt like I actually got it was back in 2023. It was a big year for us. My first child, my daughter, was graduating from high school. And within just a couple weeks of that, my husband and I were celebrating our 25th anniversary. And so I started thinking way back, probably January, as I was planning the year, thinking about how, okay, I do not want to miss those things. Obviously, I'm not going to miss the graduation. Obviously, I'm not going to miss my anniversary. But what I mean is like that so many times it has gotten to be almost too late before I realized, oh man, I wish that I had planned something to celebrate or put more thought into this. And so I'm like, I do not want that to happen. I know that senior year is a big, busy time and that there were going to be a lot of activities to plan for, even to shop for, and just get things done. And so I didn't want to get so mired down in the doing that I wasn't paying attention to the feelings and the enjoyment of it, because I do tend to just be so busy. So I purposely made myself less busy and prioritize those senior activities so that I could just really enjoy them. I did. As also like our 25th anniversary, we planned a little getaway. Nothing big, like we didn't go to a resort or on a cruise or trip around the world and nothing like that. We didn't do a vow renewal, but we did go away. It was nice. I don't think that we have to do a lot. As I was coming up on my 50th birthday, I started just kind of thinking. I thought about how do I want to celebrate it? And I thought, well, where's my favorite place? It's the beach. I thought for my birthday, I would just really like to be able to wake up at the beach and see the sunrise on my birthday and hopefully have my family with me. Definitely my husband and then my kids who are grown to be there too if possible. So we did make that happen. Anyways, and it was wonderful. It was a wonderful, wonderful long weekend that we were able to go to the beach. Let's just back up a little bit to probably 6 weeks before my birthday. I was like urgency or that feeling like something, I'm supposed to do something. Like I'm feeling overwhelmed by everything that's going on. I'm feeling like change is on the horizon. And when I start to feel that way, it's time for a brain dump. Some people don't like that term, but whatever you want to call it, it's basically taking everything that's swirling around in my mind and getting it down on paper. So I did that. I wrote some stuff down and I went for a walk. I walked around and around and around the house. I had a pad of paper in my hand, and just as things would come to me, sometimes when you're doing something that doesn't take a lot of thought, your brain is like free to then release things. So I'm walking, start writing some more stuff down. Good. And as I was emptying my mind, I started to kind of think about my birthday, turning 50. I'm hoping to live to 100. I have videos about that. And so I'm making plans for that. The first 50 years, okay, you probably have better health than you're going to have in the last 50 years. You got to plan. That means that if you're wanting to live and live well, you've got to plan for that physically, financially. Can you guys hear my cat? She's begging to come in. Hang on, let me just let her in. Sometimes I hate to let her in because as soon as I let her in, she'll want to be let back out. I've got a heated blanket over there that she has settled into. I'm hoping that I can just continue without further interruption. Anyways, where was I? Oh yes, thinking about as my 50th birthday came up, like I started to really think about what do I want the next 50 years to look like? How am I going to get there? I've thought about that before, but I also thought about what do I really want? Like why am I doing the things that I'm doing other than like I'm passionate about them? I want to improve my income. Why am I doing these things? What I could be doing better. The other thing that happened back in 2023, on the very day that my daughter graduated from high school, is that we made the very last payment on our house. Like we had been pushing for years to pay off our mortgage. Like that whole thing is a story for another day. I thought after we paid off our mortgage, if we just continued to push, then we would be able to save up a lot of money, because if we had been able to pay off that amount of money in that amount of time, then it would make sense that we would be able to pile up that amount of money in the same amount of time, give or take. That hasn't happened. Like we have piled up a little more, not anything like that. Same thing happened after we got out of debt. Back in 2007 is when we became debt free, except for the mortgage. Like we had pushed for 22 months to get out of debt. That's also another video for another day. But I thought if we push like this, then we could just keep going. But the thing is that Dave Ramsey calls it being gazelle intense. Like a gazelle is running for its life when it's being chased by the lion. The thing is that if there's no lion chasing you, you're probably just gonna walk around the field, munching on the grass and the flowers. That's kind of what happened, is that we got kind of complacent. Lifestyle creep happened. We were not making the financial progress that I had hoped that we would. Yeah, but it's like, I'm not trying to beat myself up too badly though, because like we had pushed so hard for so long and I was tired. And so I just kind of loosened up the reins. But in loosening up the reins, it's like everything just kind of leaks. You get kind of lazy. I don't know if lazy is the right word. The right word's not coming to mind right now. But anyways, okay, I better back up. What we did when my daughter graduated is she wanted to do a beach trip with her friends. So like she and her friends got a condo. We got a condo. My husband and I and my son got a condo nearby. And up until this point, I had not considered myself a beach person. I considered myself a mountain person. But for some reason, when we walked into that condo and I walked through it and I saw the view out the balcony, it all changed. I was suddenly a beach person. I was suddenly in love with being at the beach. I wanted to get a beach condo. And so we actually started looking like that weekend, like what do condos cost in this area? So, it was like, oh, that would be so amazing. Could we do it someday? Sure, we could, someday we'll sell our house and move to the beach. That would be, I just always need something to dream about. So anyways, fast forward to like 2.5 years later, I'm walking around the house and I am doing a brain dump. And I'm thinking about the next 50 years. And then I'm thinking about, what do I want to do? Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? What's going on here? I feel like change is on the horizon. What do I really want? take reasonableness off the table. What do I really want? I was like, I want a beach condo. And even like, I'm like tearing up right now because like I teared up at that point. I'm like, what would it take? Are you wanting out? Sorry, I had to let my cat out of the office. My husband got home and she wanted to go see him. Okay, so anyways, this is such an important part of the story. So anyways, I was tearing up because I was like, what would it take? I started to think. I was like, I know that I want to have this much saved up for the beach condo. I know that we were able to pay off this amount each year for the last 3 years that we were paying off the mortgage. What if we really pushed? Could we do it in 5 years? Like that was it wasn't just, let's buy a beach condo. It was, we're going to put a deadline on this thing. 5 years from my 50th birthday is my 55th birthday. So like, I don't want to have to wait to enjoy the beach condo until I'm too old. Like if I just keep on being lackadaisical about it, maybe that's the word I was looking for. If I just keep on being like that, I'm not going to get anywhere. And all of this hard work, I'm just going to like blow it. I'm going to blow that money. Not that I'm like a big waster. I'm actually pretty frugal even on my most wasteful days. Anyways, I was like, could I do it? Could I do it? Like throw down the gauntlet? I don't know. Even if I don't get all the way there, I will have certainly gotten a lot closer. I started doing the math. I started talking to ChatGPT. Like, hey, what would it take? Like, I already had some money in a high yield savings account, and so I know like what the percentage is on that. And I was like, how much would I need to put in the high yield savings account every month for 5 years in order to reach this goal of buying a beach condo, given this percentage rate of interest earned? And ChatGPT gave me the number, and I'm like, okay. That's a good size number. Some months I may be able to do more, some months I might not make it, but could I? It's actually not that far off from the amount that we put in to pay the mortgage those last 3 years when we were really pushing. So, hey, why not? Why not? And you know what? If I change my mind and I never buy that beach condo, look at all that money I piled up. Okay. I'm not going to miss like whatever silly things I would have bought over the next 5 years. I'm not going to miss them. I immediately started looking for ways to save. And I think that I'll save that for another video, kind of talking about kind of like an audit of my finances. And I was like, everything's on the table. How can we save? I'm not sure that I actually wrote it all down or if it was all just mostly in my head and with ChatGPT, but yeah, I looked at pretty much everything and how could I save? And I am in a mode of like, every decision gets weighed against like beach condo. Like I could fix this thing and save money so that I can get the beach condo. Anyways, I think the lesson for today is that what is it that you want to do or somewhere that you want to be, a goal you want to reach somewhere down the road. Put a number on that. Whether it's a number of years, a number of months, a number of weeks, or a date. Kind of walk backwards and think, what do I have to do in order to reach that goal? Because if you don't put a date or a number of years, months, whatever, if you don't put a number to it, you just be like, well, I really want to lose 10 pounds. I really want to buy a house. I really want to buy a beach condo. You don't put, when you want to accomplish that goal, you may still get there, but I think you're going to get there much, much slower, and you're less likely to get there at all. Let me just give you an example. Oh, the cat wants to be let in again. Settle down. So let me just give you one goal that I've already mentioned, and kind of just give you a little more information about that as an example. So we've been in this house like 11 years, and so but we intended on paying it off as quickly as we could. And I think pretty much from the very beginning, I was sending extra for the principal. And it's very slow progress in the beginning. At some point, I started being like, this is ridiculous. I want to get serious. I want to get rid of this mortgage. Like, I really do. So I started sending more. I started looking at like, what extra can we send this month? Let's just kind of throw any extra on the mortgage. I started seeing more progress. And I had been hitting milestones. Okay, now we are under 100,000. Okay, now we're under 90. So I got to the point where we were under 75,000. I noticed a year later that we had gotten just under 50. I was like, okay, if we were able to pay 25,000 in 1 year, we only have 50,000 left, then that means that in 2 years, we should be able to, Lord willing, the creek don't rise, we should be able to pay off the whole thing in 2 more years. I'm like, that was super exciting. I was like, oh, we've already been pushing. We're just going to keep on pushing. So we got to another year later, we were actually under the 25. I was like, okay, we should be able to pay it off within the next year. I thought, I wonder if I can pay it off by my birthday, which was in October. I wonder if we could pay it off by our anniversary, which is in June. As we got closer and closer, I thought, I wonder if we could pay it off by the time my daughter graduates. And we made that happen. We made that happen. On the very morning that she graduated, we paid off our house. And that night, she graduated from high school. What a great day. Man, I was floating between all of that. Just the culmination of so many years of effort, both as a homeowner and a parent. So yeah. So I keep on looking at that and see, I don't think that we would have paid it off as quickly as we did if I had not looked and said, okay, I think we can put this much toward the house in a year because I saw what we did. And then, okay, we should be able to hit it in 2 years. And we ended up reaching our goal 7 months faster than what we had originally thought. I think it's possible, barring some unforeseen circumstances, of course. If you don't strive for something, then you're not going to get there. Yeah. So, yeah, I immediately started doing the home and life financial everything audit, looking at what I could put into that account. So I had been adding money here and there to the high yield savings account. I just started getting intentional about it, like putting money into it and tracking it, looking at the interest that comes in every month, because that's free money, and putting money in, making deposits more frequently. Like as soon as I realize, oh, this money can go there, put it there because it's going to start earning interest. Being intentional about spending. Yeah, so that's my encouragement to you is whatever your goal is, whether it's a smaller goal or something so big that it scares you. My BHAG, my big, hairy, audacious goal of getting a beach condo, put a number on it. Set an end date, an end goal, an amount of time in which you want to accomplish this thing. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to run a 5K. Put a date on it of when you want to accomplish that. Work your way back and make it kind of scary. 5 years, the older I get, the faster that goes. So, I'm tearing up just thinking about it again. I hope that you'll follow along with me on this journey. I think that the things that I'm doing to reach my goal, the things that I'm doing along the way could be beneficial to you in reaching your goals. I actually recently changed the name to Slow and Steady Studio. That goes along with my Slow and Steady coaching. I'm a decluttering coach. I almost said dyslexia therapist. I'm also that. That's my primary job. But Slow and Steady Coaching is my decluttering coaching business where I help people declutter. I really believe that whether it's decluttering or anything that you're doing, that doing it in a slow and steady way is more beneficial than trying to go crazy. You're going to burn out, just like the tortoise and the hare. Who won? Who won that race? So just doing tiny things steadily, day by day, over time, makes a huge difference. Those habits and those little tiny tweaks. It's going to take a million little decisions in the right direction to get me the keys to my beach condo. So it's going to be lots and lots of little decisions for you to get you to your goal. I hope that you'll subscribe and follow along. I would love to hear what your goal is, big or small. Put that in the comments. You know what? Put a date on it. A stake in the ground. Say, okay, I am making the decision right now, the commitment that I am going to do this thing and it's going to be accomplished by this time, and start making your plan about how you're going to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.